Welcome again to another episode of Psychology on the Dance Floor. I am your host, Dr. Paula Chandler Paramore, your soul line dancing psychologist. My co-host, Yolanda Sample, is not with me today, but I just had an urgency to speak to you, my listening audience, about something that I've been heavily thinking about. Today, I want to do something a little different. Many of you know me as the Soul Line Dancing instructor. Some know me as Dr. Paula, the Soul Line Dancing psychologist, and others know me from workshops, classes, conferences, social media, or from seeing me on the dance floor throughout Pennsylvania, Jersey, Delaware, and New York. But many ask me, Dr. Paula, what exactly do you do? And how did you become a psychologist? How did dancing become a connected to psychology? And why do you talk about the nervous system, trauma, grief, stress, and healing while teaching line dance? Well, today, I just felt the urgency to come before you, my listening audience, and answer those questions. You know, I don't know if you noticed it, but last week, social media was buzzing. It was all over social media, but I guess it would depend on the circle that you travel in. And there was so much talk about people portraying to be something that they're not and don't have credentials to call themselves certain titles. And I'm talking about psychology, because I'm a clinical psychologist. And I just felt the need to come to you to show you my credentials, so you know that I am a bona fide clinical psychologist. And when I come to you, I research what I'm going to talk about and bring it to you. So it's not off the cuff. It's not subjective. It's fact. So, my journey have always been about understanding, how do people heal? How do they grow? How do they become whole in their mind, body, and spirit? And I want to talk about that. My relationship with line dancing began long before I became a psychologist. I started teaching dance around 13, like many young people. Music moved me. Dance became a language, my language. Because I'm just going to lay some more stuff out there for you. I'm going to be really transparent and real today, because there's someone out there that needs to hear what I'm going to say. Dancing became my language because I have a speech impediment. And people who personally knows me knows that I have one. It may not be visible right now because mentally I'm controlling it, but I know it's there. So that's for anyone out there, for young people, that you feel that your disability is going to hold you back. No. You press through that disability. You work through it. So anyway, I participate in dance contests. I performed in musical productions. I studied dance formally and continue developing my skill. Yes, I'm an overachiever. You'll learn more as I go on. But what I didn't realize at the time was that dance was teaching me something important. Dance was teaching me about confidence, discipline, connection, self-expression, community. Even then, movement was affecting my emotions and my thinking. I simply didn't have the language to describe it yet. But years later, psychology would give me that language. Another important chapter of my life was serving in the military. Yes, sir. Oh, that's the wrong picture. I was in the United States Navy. I served as first platoon, squad leader, and drill team leader. The military taught me discipline, leadership, responsibility, and it taught me that people can accomplish extraordinary things when they move together towards a common goal. Interesting, many of the same principles I learned in leadership can be observed on the dance floor. Trust, coordination, communication, group cohesion, shared purpose. Those experiences shape how I approach teaching today. So my educational journey. Yes, there are letters behind my name, but people don't know the story behind those letters. And I'm going to tell you that story today. My educational journey was driven by trying to cope with losing everything I worked for in my life. And that's when I started my educational journey. I decided to go back to school and receive my bachelor's in health behavior science at the University of Delaware. I earned my first master's at Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York. So when I talk dance movement therapy, I'm not just talking. There's a lot of people out there are talking dance movement therapy. They have not been trained as a dance movement therapist. Later, I earned my master's in clinical psychology. And later, I went on to earn my PhD in clinical psychology. I'm an overachiever. And presently, I'm working on my third master's in mind-body medicine. My thesis that I'm writing right now is on R&B, urban soul line dancing, regulation of the sympathetic nervous system. So when I come to you with information, I know what I'm talking about. Although there are professionals out there that don't know what they're talking about. But that's another topic. Now, I am pre-licensed at the master's level of my career. 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to become a pre-licensed clinical psychologist. They would call that psychology assistant. I was offered that at a detention center here in Delaware, but I turned that opportunity down because it's hard working with children, especially in jail. Now, I have worked with grown men and maximum and super maximum security. That's a different story with mental illness. But to work with young Black boys was really difficult, because when you work in that environment, the percentage is very high that someone will commit suicide. And I couldn't bear that if a child did that. So this profession, clinical psychology, is a serious profession that I take very seriously. And we have ethics that we have to follow. And so my ethics with you is I'm not here to diagnose. I'm not here to provide any psychoeducation. We're just having a friendly conversation about life and about the mind, body, and spirit. You know, dance movement therapy taught me how movement affects emotional well-being. Clinical psychology taught me how people think, feel, cope, suffer, and recover. Mind-body medicine taught me how the brain, body, emotions, and spirit are interconnected. And over time, I realized something powerful. These were not separate disciplines. They were all describing different aspects of human experience. Why did I become a clinical psychologist? I just wanted to expand my understanding of human behavior. I suffer with depression, anxiety, and PTSD. But I didn't let any of that stop me from pursuing my goals. It's one thing that I've always done in life was to pursue my God-given purpose despite my disabilities. You know, anxiety, depression, stress, grief, relationship struggles, life transitions, trauma, that's life. It's going to happen. It's going to happen sometime in your lifetime. You know, but people think emotions stay in the head, but emotions affect the entire body. The entire body. Your mind, body, and spirit. And this realization strengthened my commitment to humanistic, existential, mind-body approaches to wellness. Now, that was a mouthful. Humanistic, existential. Healing isn't cognitive. It is physiological. It is relational, and it's embodied. Now, why R&B, urban soul, line dancing is my mission? Well, for over 30 years, and I've been teaching since I was 13, so it's more than that. I have taught R&B, soul, line dancing. What became as a teaching evolved into something much larger. I began seeing transformation, people losing weight, managing stress, you know, recovering from grief, overcoming loneliness, developing confidence, and creating friendships. And people finding joy again. I watch people come into class carrying burdens, and for an hour they smiled. They laughed, they connected, they moved, they breathed, and they felt belonged. That is when I realized something. People think they come to dance class for steps. What they are often seeking is connection, community, purpose, hope. The dance floor does becomes a healing place. Not because it replaces therapy. I just want you to know, if you need therapy, seek therapy. But the dance floor provides many of the ingredients that support well-being: music, rhythm, movement, social connection, meaning, belonging, and joy. Everything I teach, from the integration of psychology, dance, therapy, and wellness, when we move rhythmically, breathing changes, stress levels change, mood changes, energy changes. Our relationship changes, our confidence changes. The dance floor gives us an opportunity to practice resilience, to practice adaptability, connection, and presence. This is why I often say we are not just dancing, we're learning about ourselves. So what I do, I take very seriously. And I just wanted to put my credentials out on the table. So when you hear me come to you next Monday, I'll be here again next Monday. This is a bonus Monday. Me and DJ Starlight We'll be here next Monday at this time, presenting information. So when you hear us talk, you can freely listen and trust what we're bringing to you. And you can decide what you want to do with that information. But we only here because we just want to help you through whatever you're going through. And when you're on that dance floor with attitude and with your clicks and with your persona, you know what's going on with you. If you just snap for no reason, you stop, take a breath, and collect yourself and figure out what is wrong with me. So as I close today, I want to leave you with this thought. I am not simply a dance instructor, psychologist, dance movement therapist. I am not simply a mind-body medicine advocate. I am a human being who happens to be an elder. I'm 73 years old, so I'm not working. I'm not. But I have the desire to share God's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with his people, all his people, to provide a sense of hope and the possibility for you to reach your dreams and your aspirations. If I can do it, you can do it. And if I can do it at my age, young people, you surely can do it. You got to have faith in yourself. Sometimes it's not good to follow. Sometimes it's good to be your own person. And don't let people talk you down from your dreams. Everything I have studied, everything I taught, everything I have experienced has led me to one conclusion: people healing connection. And thank you for joining me on Psychology on the Dance Floor. You know, if today's episode resonated with you, please share it with your friends. Subscribe and like Psychology on the Dance Floor on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You know, it's funny, really quick. I was telling someone when I started this path six months ago, I was telling them all the platforms that I was on. They were saying, "Are you on TikTok?" I said, "I ain't getting no TikTok." TikToks are for kids. And he said to me, but don't the kids need psychology too? I felt so bad. I said, okay. So I'm on TikTok as well. Because, you know, there's a lot of stuff on TikTok that our young children are listening to and everything. And we need some positivity for them. They need to know that they can do anything, that all things are possible with God. That's always my statement. You find that in every book that I've written. You're always going to have that quote: all things are possible with God. So, as I finish up this podcast, keep moving, keep growing, and remember, teach on purpose, dance on purpose, choreograph on purpose, DJ on purpose, and please live on purpose. But most importantly, have fun. Until the next time, which is next Monday at 6:30. I see you later on Psychology on the Dance Floor. Bye-bye.